Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Let Her Create. And today I am creating a printable sticker sheet with global colors. Now, why would you use global colors instead of just regular colors? Well, global colors really work effectively when you need to change your entire color wave, and it's not necessarily time conducive to just click each color and select the same. Now I'm going to show you an example of that and what it looks like, because you may find that you don't like working with global colors, or it may not be something that you have in your workflow. But I strongly suggest that you give it a try. It has saved me time and lots of effort in recreating entire files, so on and so forth. So what you see here on my screen is just one of my printable sticker sheets sets that I am working on. It's blank. There's nothing on it. And the reason why is because I wanted to show you what it looked like setting up the global colors before I showed you how to use them or how it will save you time. So what you're going to do is go over to the color palette area on your menu bar, and it's the color studio. So whenever you don't know where something is in Affinity Designer, they have this really great question mark down here, and it's very helpful in figuring out where you are. But I'm going to click off of that, and I'm going to go to my color palettes. Now, if you have a global color palette already, it's going to show up here in your menu. But if you don't, you won't have one. This particular file doesn't have one. I use it as a template, so it imports with no color. But I think I may export the entire thing as the template. That way I can change those global colors even faster. So I'm going to add global color from the 3 hamburger menu. Now, you don't have to have names for these colors. One tip when working on the iPad is that you can't move the dialog box to you can't move the dialog box. So I try to have everything set up where I know I will be able to see it. And that's why I always make sure I use colors or something where I know what the particular numbers or letters for the color file is. So I'm going to click that again because I accidentally clicked off of it. And it always defaults to RGB hex sliders. I typically don't have those. I work with the hex colors because you can always export later. So I like the RGB hex sliders. So DC, and don't do like I did. You can only insert one at a time. And so you don't get to see what the color looks like. There. And that is my new color that I've added. So it's going to keep a count of what number this is. And again, you don't have to work with 5 colors. You can work with whatever number of colors you want in your file, especially if you create a standard sticker sheet set. You know, you have the basics. Typically, a lot of the digital stickers have the same base shapes. And I have a tendency to want to still try to type in that whole number in that space, but that's not how this works. So 46. And so what I kind of find interesting about adding the global colors is that you cannot use the eyedropper tool. If you use any other tool while trying to set up your global colors, you A, won't have access to it, or B, you will just close out the whole menu. So you want to make sure that when you work with this, you know your hex codes or RGB codes prior to setting this up. And again, you don't have to set this up in any particular order. It's just something, it's just another tool for the toolbox. And there, so the first color wave has been set. I'm going to zoom out. And this actually has 6 colors in it, but I'm only working with these here. Crop that out. And this will do for later. So there's no artboard in here. That's why you couldn't see anything around. It was totally grayed out. It was just a piece of paper, essentially, a digital piece of paper. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to go back over here and insert some images that we've learned from the assets menu that I showed you how to make in an earlier video. And again, you'll see why I created this. So what I'm also doing is turning everything that I put into this global color. So I'm making sure my global color palette is already set. So from there, I can duplicate. Hi guys and welcome back. So as you can see, the sticker sheet is now finished. I worked on the placement with things. I'm probably going to change the placement of items on that second page, if not just attach it as a freebie or something, because I really couldn't think of anything else I really wanted to do with that section. But I just wanted to show you what working with the global colors will look like when you incorporate this into your workflow. So I'm trying to get this as close as possible. What happened? I'm trying to get it as close as possible so you can see on a large scale what is going to happen. So what I might do, or what I'm doing, is going to slide this artboard over, because remember, the color menu takes up a lot of space when you're working in it. Even though you have everything kind of where you need it to be. So let's see if that's a happy medium. I feel like I made a slight adjustment there. So into the color studio, and we're going for that first color. So I'm just going to click and hold, or tap and hold. And this is exactly what I was talking about. See how it's in the way of my colors. If you're looking at the screen, you see that everything that was once that light gray color changed to now this soft pink. So I'm going to do the same thing with the second color. That wasn't what I wanted to do. So I'm just going to hit edit. And so what I just realized is that at the bottom of this menu is this part right here. So can I go in and make changes? Yeah, I can. But it does something really wonky. Oh, let's get back to my menu. So EE. And you have to hit OK to know that it is accepted the change. And so again, the third global color has changed. And already you can kind of see how you can create cohesive palettes and bundle them. Put them in a bundle. If you like where this palette is exactly the way it is, you can save it to another folder, but it's still too close to the other palette that I have. And like I said, if you are releasing this in a bundle, you want to give different color waves. So I'm just going to zoom in so you can see the change and I can see what I'm doing. Click and hold, edit. And that gives me a little bit more wiggle room to see FB. And as the color changes, it looks really weird, but you can easily determine that that is what you like and just save that, export that, that file out. So F4 is the next one. And you're getting there, you're changing your colors. And so now the remaining color, and that's not a bad color palette, you know, a bad color wave at all. but it's still holding on to that other gray or that other blue. Yeah, it's still holding on to like that blue teal color. And that is just going to be a repeat of the other stickers. So I'm going to change this last color. $14.36.42. And there. And now the entire sticker sheet has been changed. Now, you may find this takes a little while to get used to working with, and that's totally okay. But again, I just wanted to show you a quick and easy way to change your color palettes if you work in color waves. Color wave and color palette is interchangeable. But if you don't have a color wave or a color palette that you stay in and you design or you create your stickers and you just go, you can still use the option of selecting the item and then selecting the same fill, and everything is still changed. But that it's just give or take in what you want to do. But I definitely recommend setting up your Affinity files, your sticker sets with that global color already there. That way you can just go in and make changes and adjustments. And I always keep a copy of my colors because I use this app called COOLORS, and it helps me to just keep alignment and remember what color palette I'm working on or what theme I'm going with. So I'm going to zoom out. And so if you notice, this did not change. And the reason for that not changing is because I used the pixel layer and I hand drew those doodles. So it's not going to be the same. I wouldn't necessarily export that. It was just more or less a test to kind of see what would happen. Now this one, it's still a vector. I used the pencil tool and then just added a tail to the line. And I think I'm really happy with this color wave of stickers. So I'm going to go click over to my export menu. And I'm going to change my export folder again. And the only reason I'm changing it is because I want everything that I'm creating, because I'm working on this color wave, right? So I'm done. And I'm going to not export those arrows because I don't like how they came out. And then I'm going to export all. And that is set 2 of this series. And so, hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I decided to make a part 2 to the video Global Colors and Affinity Designer. I wanted to answer the question about what color app that I use that will have the hex codes or the RGB codes or the CMYK colors. So you can use that in your, you can put that little tool in your toolbox. Now I have it on the iPad. I know there is a web version and you can just save your, you can go create an account online. I do believe you have to pay for the app. I want to say it was like $1, maybe $2, $1.99. But it is an invaluable tool if you are creating like really anything. Even if you're a scrapbooker, you can figure out which colors, you know, you already want to have together or whatever the case is. But I particularly like it when I am doing digital art, and it's very fun. So when you open the app, it just opens with whatever wave of color. I don't know how it picks it, but if you find that you like it, you can just save it. and you can give it a name. This one in particular, it makes me think of Easter. So I may do something and make Easter stickers or something, but it makes me think of spring, Easter. And I'm just putting my tags in here. So when I am looking for it, I can find it later. We'll just start generating more color palettes. I like this one. This looks like a light spring. And so it automatically comes set with 5 colors in the range, because typically you try to, sometimes that is the design challenge, to use a smaller range of colors. But if you find that you want to add more, you can just add it. So I might add 1 color to this color wave and 1 color here. And just make sure I'm selecting each one individually to add the color. Because I wanted it to be more of a gradient. And so I'm going to show you really quickly what it looks like when you export. So you can export this to an image, and you can select which color space you want to work in. You can put the name, you can put the Prismacolor, the Copic color, because it will export in the correct colors. It'll export in Pantone. Since I work a lot in RGB, I export in RGB. And then when I know I'm going to print, I export in CMYK colors. But I'm just going to export this for RGB color mode, and I'm going to save it. So when I'm working in my file, I can place, because all of my items are in folders, and I'm going too fast. And I'm just going to delete this because I have my color palette saved. And when I get ready, I can change the colors to what I want. Now I picked RGB for this, but that's easily added to your color palette, because you can